Yes.
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 Okay.
All right. Now on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to awards, recognitions, and commendations. First up is our Prince Edward County Public Schools Spelling Bee winners.
Yes, sir. Mr. Townsend and members of the school board, welcome to our February meeting. And before we do that, just want to let everyone know that tonight we are celebrating School Board Appreciation Month and School Board Clerk Appreciation. They actually have a week a little later in February, but this is their meeting in February where we do all that. So thank you for all that you do to support the division, one another, and the community as a whole. We appreciate that. So with that, Mr. Townsend, one of the things one of the first recognitions we have is the Spelling Bee awards tonight, and you're going to award those if you don't mind. But I'd like to say something about the Spelling Bee. That is amazing. Spelling has never been my thing, and it really, I learned that again when I went and watched the Spelling Bee, because some of the words that these students spelled, I was trying to spell it in my head, and I was like, well, I would be sitting down. I didn't know how to start it. And so I think one of them was antidote that I really kind of stumbled on, and I think I looked at Miss Garrett and said, I don't have any idea. And I don't know if she did either. I don't know. But that's where we were. But that was your time.
All right. So in Prince Edward County, students in 4th through 8th grades begin their spelling bee journey in the classroom, move on to grade level Bs, and then compete in the district finals. At this year's District B on Tuesday, January 13th, Ezekiel Ratuya, 6th grader, correctly spelled for a total of 7 rounds. The winning word, very fitting, was invincible. Ezekiel is now on his way to Richmond on March 4th for the annual Richmond Raceway Regional Spelling Bee. After a tough battle, 7th grader Noah Johnson placed 2nd, and 5th grader Emmett Townsend placed 3rd. Congratulations to our spelling bee winners. So stand up to receive your certificates if you're here. Start with Ezekiel.
That's awesome.
There you go.
We gotta get a picture.
They want a picture.
Wait.
You want all of us or just?
I will do one at a time.
Okay.
It's upside down.
Noah? Noah? Congratulations. Thank you so much. We'll flip it around and hold it up.
There you go.
Perfect. And I assume it's not here. We'll make sure that gets to him. Would y'all like to share any of your experience of the spelling bee? What was it like? Oh, don't be shy now.
Yeah, you spell those words.
Congratulations.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, congrats. Y'all are doing awesome and best of luck.
You have anything you want to share?
It was
tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Y'all did well. Invincible. Invincible. Excellent job and good luck.
And we got to give a big thank you to our coordinator.
Yes.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sharon B. I'm the gifted resource teacher and spelling bee coordinator, and thankful to Mrs. Garrett, who gives me great leadership.
How do you spell bee? How do you spell bee?
I'll tell you what, yeah. This will be Ezekiel's 2nd time, and he did really well last year, and I'm looking forward to going and seeing him compete this year.
It's awesome.
The question, he wants to know how you spell your last name.
B, as in boy, E-I-T-H, just like the young man's name Keith, except with a B, and rhymes with teeth. So.
Congratulations and thank you all again.
Awesome job.
Moving forward to our Eagle Stars.
On that one, Mr. Townsend, members of the board, that is that Ms. Eanes Walton and the HR department have started where people can nominate other Eagles in the staff members across the division. It doesn't matter if they're transportation, school nutrition, at the school level, about different awards, and we give them a certificate. Weather's played a little factor in this. We haven't been able to award the certificate, so we like to award it to them and then recognize. So I have not had a chance to do that. So that will continue next month. Yes.
Good. All right, on to the next item, VSBA School Board Clerk, Deputy Clerk Appreciation Week, 16th through the 20th.
Yes. So February 16th through the 20th is known as Virginia School Board Appreciation Clerk Week. And as you know, Mr. Foster is our official school board clerk. So thank you, Mr. Foster, for all that you do. One of the main things that Mr. Foster does is he tolerates me, because that can sometimes go better than others. So come on up, Mr. Foster. Give you your certificate. There we go. All right. Thank you. Hang on. I'm getting one of you and Ms. Jones together. And then we have our deputy clerk, Ms. Virginia Jones, has been serving in that capacity for a little bit of time. I won't say how many years, Ms. Jones, for Prince Edward County Public Schools, but she does when the clerk cannot be here, Ms. Jones fills in. And you know, it's one of these things that people only think the clerk does is sit there and take minutes and do everything, but they also help track different professional learning that school board members have to do, make sure the minutes are there and everything. So Ms. Jones, she also tolerates me. She has the fortunate that our offices are right across from each other. And so Ms. Jones, come on up and let's get your picture. Congratulations. Turn, we got to turn. Keeping up with the Joneses here. And then let's get one of them together.
Ms. Jones, let me get my certificate.
Get your certificate.
And you know this will be posted next week, so please be. I know you said please do. Thank you.
All right. And then also, February, and I said it earlier, is School Board Appreciation Month. So that's what February, we recognize every month is about appreciation, but February is the official designation from the School Board Association for School Board Appreciation Month. So I appreciate all that you all do, not only for each other, but for the communities but then for the districts that you represent and the support. I couldn't do my job without your support and your guidance, and I appreciate that. And I know we're new to this relationship, and we've done a lot. I was just thinking when we were getting all this together, it was about this time last year that we were all just starting to meet each other for the first time. So for little ongoing sessions there for a little while, and I'm glad it worked out. Hopefully you are as well as February 4th. If you're not, just let me know. But I do appreciate it. And right there in front of you, you have some cards from children. You have some homemade cards from some of our elementary art. And then right there you have a little gift basket in there and a card from me that I hand wrote. And I took my time to write carefully so you could read it. I don't do that for everyone. But just to let you know that you are appreciated. I put nothing healthy in there because during budget time and winter and different stuff, you don't really need anything healthy. You just need a little comfort food. And over here, if you look, some other bigger homemade cards coming from the middle school, the high school, and everything from our students. So nothing warms your heart more than student work, because there's a lot of love that goes into that.
Take at least 2.
Yeah, and you take at least 2 when you leave. And you also get a certificate from the Virginia School Boards Association. Ms. Carson and Mr. Farley could not be with us tonight, so Mr. Townsend, come on up.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, we'll take pictures.
Sorry.
You're good.
Well, let me know.
Look, I know the picture got to be good, so
Thank you. I'm must say, y'all look so nice, and then you have a superintendent that you just hired up here in a sweatshirt jacket and some boots, but it's the
Yeah, but
weather.
you know what, you had snow and all that
Yes.
to deal with today.
That's just who I am. All right. Next we have Ms. Kimbrough. Come on up. It's like Price is Right. Thank you. Dr. Arietti. I can't quite be Greek for you, so you. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, thank you. Dr. Corbett. Ms. Simpson. That's okay. We're twins. Thank you. Mr. Tackett. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. That's all I have for that.
You have one more very quick gift from the Prince Edward County Elementary School Parent-Teacher Organization, the PTO. Just wanted to show their appreciation for our school board with more treats that are not healthy, but will still make you feel good.
Oh, that cookie, that's a gas of life.
They're personalized cookies.
For our clerk as well.
Thank you, so much.
No, I will try not to eat Mr. Farley and Miss Carson's.
Until we see them
Get
on
them to
Monday.
Is anyone signed up for public participation? 5:45.
Okay.
Nobody? Okay. Nobody signed up for public participation, so we will keep going. Unless there's anybody in the audience who would. Twice sold. All right. Moving on to consent agenda.
Move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda? All right. Motion passes. Moving on to information item, elementary school construction.
Yes, so as you know, the construction has still been ongoing at Prince Edward Elementary School. Just as you can see in there, the update as of January, they're working on the abatement. We're demolishing some of the walls in Building C, and we are cutting floor trenches in Building C and between the buildings A and C. Finished steel and masonry walls between buildings A and C. Working on electrical and HVAC, remaining metal plates. Library shelves are set up in the new library, which look really good. I checked on those today. The roof work is ongoing. Finished the east storefront doors in early January. The gutters and soffits on Building E are done. Finished flooring in Building E, and then the renovation scope and pricing are underway for the cafeteria plumbing and new kitchen flooring. So we're working on that and what that would look. One of the positives in their last construction, there's lots of positives, but another positive that saves some dollars is that in the existing kitchen, you know, when we get out in May and before we come back in August, is we thought we were going to have to rebuild some of the walls in the kitchen due to some piping. But I can't say enough about English construction in Mosley. We have found a way where we do not have to remove those walls, which saves tens of thousands of dollars.
Good.
So that's a good thing, and so we're working through that. So they asked me if we were for it. I said, "You said it saves tens of thousands of dollars, so if we can do that, I think we can get on it." So it's but that is our update. Also, I talked about the Furniture Expo that was going to happen on March 20th, originally at the Fireman Sports Arena. That is actually now going to be in our elementary school gym because we had 3 or 4 vendors and we're going to work on getting that set up. So we are well on our, way. So it's exciting.
This time next year, we'll almost be.
We'll almost be done. Yes, ma'am.
Have to go by fast.
All right. Time flies.
Many kudos to the elementary school folks and English Construction and Mosley Architects for getting this done quickly and safely, so we are greatly appreciative. Moving into action items, approval of additional appropriations, Ms. Jones.
Good afternoon, Mr. Townsend, school board members, and Dr. Jones. This evening, I stand before you seeking approval for 3 additional appropriations to the budget. The first one is the mathematics intervention grant for $581,479.25.
Ms. Jones, may I say something on that, if you don't mind?
Sure.
So from that, on the innovation grant, what that is Prince Edward County Public Schools, we had to apply as a region. And so we are the physical agent that got one of the grants from the Department of Education that will support math across the Region 8. But we are usually in these state grants, when you do a grant among other school divisions, there has to be a physical agent, and that is us as Prince Edward County Public Schools. Yes, ma'am.
So does that mean that we're gonna be sharing this $581,000?
Yes.
How much of it's going to be ours, do we know?
Well, it doesn't, is it okay if I answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not so much that it works specific to the school, what they're planning on is it's gonna be regional trainings. So we're gonna work
Okay.
together with
Oh,
Region
okay,
8.
okay.
So we kinda have the teachers in Region 8 get together
Team.
to try and get us to work collaboratively.
Okay.
And then there'll be some specific for us and some specific for Appomattox, Charlotte, kind of
Okay.
work that way.
Okay.
But you were more likely to be awarded if you did it as a regional approach than you were individually.
Okay.
And every dollar we asked for, we received.
Somebody else had a question? Was it you, Dr. Quorum?
Did we write for the?
We did.
We did.
We did all the writing.
Good.
Amy
We
McClure
did.
and Ms. Garrett, here, yes. Yes.
Awesome job.
Love to entertain a motion to formally request the Board of Supervisors to appropriate the additional funds.
I'd like to make a motion that we.
Second.
All right, motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you so much. Moving on to approval of SCAP 25.2 grant award, also Ms. Jones.
Okay, that is a 2-part approval, which is the SCAP grant that you all are seeing listed as $580,000, which is a new appropriation. And if I'm not mistaken, that will be for the high school.
The auditorium
All right,
project. So, if I may,
Yes, you may.
one of the things that the Department of Education does is, when they look at aging facilities, they have an opportunity for you to, apply for grants to help with construction costs. Prince Edward County Public Schools, we did apply for one, is we're gonna have the renovation of the Barbara Johns Auditorium. And as you saw in the first when we saw the first plans back in the fall, there was more money than we actually had at the time, because we were just shy of $1 million that was returned to us to put toward that project. So we did apply for this, and we were awarded $580,000 to assist with that project. It is, one of the things when the Department of Education does is they says there's no local match, which there's not. However, there's a however that I like to stress and bold and put out in purple and gold and everything. You have to have the funds, some funds available, which we did, and you got a percentage of it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, so it is a good thing. Very few school divisions got this, so, and we wrote that as well. Yeah.
Good.
work.
So 2 separate,
So
should
it's
we?
2 separate motions
So I'd like
we
to
need,
make
or
a-
can we combine them?
Well, we've already voted on one.
Yeah.
The first one you voted on, this one has 2 different items under this one right here.
So 2 motions.
You can combine them or do, it's up to you.
Let's just approve this one and we'll go to the next.
Okay, I move that we, request the $580,000 for the scrap grant to go toward the high school Barbara Johns Auditorium renovation.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, motion passed.
And the second one is actually construction funds that we will be using after our 24-25 audit. We had leftover funds, and the county was kind enough to actually say we could actually, of those funds, we could use 2.1 million, it's a little bit more, $2,167,745. And that is actually going to be used in several different ways. Dr. Jones can correct me, but I think I listed everything that he asked. The middle school are getting 3 rooftop units, estimated $300,000. The high school is getting a chiller, which includes installation and removal of the old, estimated $125,000. In the high school, they're gonna do fencing around the football field and a backstop at the baseball field. And that estimate is roughly $100,000. What is left over of that will go towards the Bob Johns Auditorium.
Will that give us enough money with the almost $1 million that we had, the 580 and whatever's left over to go toward, will that be enough for us
Yes,
to
it
do
will
what
be
we think?
do, some renovation, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, and I've told, if you all approve this, Ms. Jones, if I may, I've been talking, when Mosley first came to us about the plans, that this may be the amount of money, depending on appropriations and approvals, that we have to work with, and we can make, yes.
Okay.
But I do wanna talk a little bit about these projects, so
Yes.
working with, Mr. Good and Mr. Wilkerson, there are 3 rooftop units that are in dire need of repair
Those
at the
boilers?
middle school. The boilers, we're working on those, getting prices and updates for that. These are actually rooftop units that need to be replaced.
What are rooftop units?
They're like the air,
Air
so
conditioning?
rooftop, yes, and
Okay.
HVAC, just
Okay.
depending, yes.
Okay.
And then for the high school, one of the things that we need a new chiller for the high school, and they can be in the excess of $400,000 to $500,000. So we have been working, we have a contract with Honeywell that we meet with on a monthly basis. And through this and talking with Mr. Wilkerson and Mr. Good, there is, in Honeywell, Gloucester High School, you would think, how does Gloucester Public Schools factor into this? They did a renovation of their high school, and they had a chiller that they had purchased. And it's 5 years old, but it only had like up to 3 years runtime, which is really nothing for, it's kind of like a diesel motor. I mean, 3, and so we have the maintenance records and all. Mr. Good and Mr. Wilkerson are going to see the chiller next week. I am a person that has to see something, even though I'm not personally going, I trust what they tell me. And we can get this for a much reduced cost to accomplish the need that we have. So it's almost a deal that you cannot pass up. So we're trying to maximize the dollars that we have, but still accomplish the goal that we want to, okay? And as far as the fencing, I've worked with Mr. Eubank, and if you go down, of course, you all know where the fence is that goes around the football field to the baseball. That is in need of, number one, it would just make the facility look 100 times better. But there's some of the fencing where we've had some erosion just over years and different things, just to bring it a little cleaner aspect and the safety, and then through the aspect of the backstop, we have some chain link and a backstop that's popping up, and it would just change the actual appearance of that facility. So I would recommend that for safety and different things, because for safety, but then when you pull up to Prince Edward County Public Schools, that is one of the first things that you see. And you have a brand new elementary looking out over some fencing that needs to be updated, so I thought it would be in our best interest to allocate some funds to do that. And if we had the opportunity to get this, let's do it while we can. All right?
I'd love to entertain a motion.
And so move. Second.
So entertain a motion to formally request Prince Edward County Board of Supervisors to appropriate funds for school construction for fiscal year 25-26. Right, Dr. Arian?
Yes.
Perfect. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
And it was for that 2 million.
Yes, and the balance of that would go to the Barbara Johns.
Okay.
All those in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
This is all contingent on the Board of Supervisors
Yes.
meeting next week.
I have a question. How did that money come about?
So,
Over money.
when you get into, and this is, when you get into year-end funds, so a school board has a budget, okay, that we set, you know, like, we'll start that process for the 26-27 school year. And so when you get into the end of the year, a school, just to give a little basics here, a school budget goes July 1 to June 30th. And we get money from state, we get money from local, and we get money from grants, federal grants. A lot of our federal grants are reimbursements. And it may be, we upfront the money and then we reimburse it and we get the dollars in, okay? Throughout the year, your payments from the state are based on an enrollment figure, an ADM figure, okay? And that is how you receive the different funds from the state. Based on the incentive program that they're in, you may receive them twice a month, you may receive them once a month, or you might not start receiving some of the funds till the January, just depending on lottery funds and different sales tax that can change. All of it's contingent on your ADM, all right? So you're getting these payments. We do a September 30th ADM, then we do a March 31st, all right? Along the way, you're gauging and you're basing all of that on a spreadsheet or a calc tool that you get from the Department of Education in June, okay? So you base a budget on one calc tool when you're approving a budget. You get your final calc tool in June, which kind of drives your payments for the following school year. But you base it on this other one. I know that's a lot. You kind of need a flow chart. All right? So, when you do this in March 31st, once that goes into the factor of the funding, you either, if your ADM is up, you get more dollars. If your ADM is down, you get less dollars. So the state, if it's more, will start giving more money or start allocating. The state piece goes up and the local piece goes up, all right? If it goes down, the state's not going to lose money. They just start reducing your payments. Based usually on your last, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Jones, usually on your last 4 payments, right? Your last 4 EDI payments. So you've been monitoring your spending along the way to say, hey, and in Southside Virginia, especially Region 8, air enrollment fluctuates. We could have 15 students leave today, we might enroll 2 tomorrow. Then we might have another 16 leave and we might enroll 20 the next day. It just depends. So when we get to that point, you have to, even though you have a budget, which is an estimate, you've got to make end of the year. So either you have money left over, or if you don't and your enrollment's lower or your ADM's lower than what you projected, you have to have saved some money somewhere along the way to cover those expenses because you don't want to overspend your budget. You don't want to overspend your appropriation from the Board of Supervisors. And something may factor in where, you know, we're still paying federal employees along the way, and we're paying that money out, but we may not have gotten the reimbursements in. When we get the reimbursements in after June 30th, depending on when they come in, the auditors do this thing what they call accrual. They put it back to the school year you just finished. If that makes sense, because their spending has to start June 30th. If you're getting more dollars, they have to be, just because you're getting the dollars doesn't mean you can spend them until it's appropriated to you. You may run out of meetings to have that money appropriated to you. So there's that money sitting. And you want to utilize all your state funds, because if you don't, you got to send that back. And you want to, local funds is something you can carry forward. And then, and you end it with, and then you have to watch the money that as of June 30th, like cash on hand, because we run on cash on hand, and their spending stops June 30th. So you have to gauge all that. And it can come from, this is what it can come from. You may have unfilled positions, which is salary and benefits. You may not have exhausted all of your fuel, your utilities. Maybe your electric was lower than you projected. Maybe you had some health insurance. Maybe that people didn't take the plan, they did take the plan, or maybe you didn't employ all the substitutes. Or we've had winter weather and some hourly employees weren't paid. The gas went down. There's a lot of factors that factor into that. And that's how you get that. And so we're fortunate in Prince Edward County, because this does not happen everywhere, that if there's additional funds, that usually it can be returned back to CIP projects. So I know when you hear, we had this X amount of what happened? And we work to spend the dollars that we have. But sometimes you just can't go out and spend just to spend. You need to be mindful, because at the end of the day, it's taxpayer money. And if we need something, yes, we'll get it. But if not, we're fortunate in Prince Edward County to work with the Board of Supervisors that will help you return. Does that make sense? That's a lot of information, but that is the way it works.
Yes, it's capital improvement.
Yes. Ms. Jones, am I right on all of that?
Yes, sir.
Did I miss something?
Yes, those.
Yes. So it's, yes.
Capital improvement.
So some years may be more than others, but we're mindful of what needs to be done. And so when you get the opportunity to get some funds, we have these projects ready to go.
That's good. That's what we need.
Sorry, that was a mouthful.
Good information.
Good.
We've got a lot of projects.
Good information. All right. Moving on to C, multi-year school support plan, Prince Edward Elementary School, first and final read. Ms. Vance.
Ms. Vance and Ms. Garrett are going to present this information.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, Dr. Jones. I'm just gonna set the stage, and then Ms. Vance is gonna take the show. So I would just like to say, you're gonna actually see two plans tonight, and I wanna explain to you why you have one that you're actually gonna approve, and why it's in first and final, and then why you have one that's just for you, for informational. And that's the way that the board has set it up, the Virginia board has set it up for you. We've talked about the placement of the schools and where everyone is. Ms. Vance is actually a TSI school, so she's a targeted support school. So she's gonna present her plan for targeted support schools. Their plans have to be approved by their board. For CSI schools, they do not have to be approved by the board, just for your informational purposes. So that's why you're gonna see it in two different places. What you're gonna see is you have the full plan. It is lengthy, and there's a lot there. But she's gonna give you the highlights and what really is the meat of the plan. And then you're gonna approve, really what you're looking at is the evidence-based intervention that's there and what she's discussing that they will do. The state met with us today and kind of reviewed the plan, gave us some tweaks and said, present this to your board, and then we will send it to them, and they'll let us know if we need to do any more changes. And with that, Ms. Vance is gonna take the show. All right.
Good evening, Board Chair, Dr. Jones, board members. First, I want to say happy School Board Appreciation. Thank you all for everything you do for the elementary school, the parents, the children, the families. So I am going to present the multi-year plan. It is a 3-year plan. We're hoping that it won't last the entire 3 years. We're going to try to make progress very, very quickly. As Ms. Garrett explained, we are in this situation because our students with disabilities performed below where we hoped they would perform. And so we are going to take steps. This plan will explain what we're going to do. All right, click. So that's our rationale. All right, so we can go to data analysis. So just looking at the data, we didn't just throw this plan together. We looked at the data from last year. We looked at the data we're currently collecting to try to identify why it is that our students did not meet where we were expected to meet. We looked at the explicit instruction, and we looked at our practices, exactly what strategies, what approaches are we utilizing to teach the students with disabilities. We found that there is a little bit of inconsistency in how often they have access to these interventions, as well as the strategies that we're using. When you're not consistent, it kind of leaves holes and gaps. And so we're looking to try to close the gaps by being consistent with what we're doing and utilizing those evidence-based practices. Click. Our intended outcomes, we're hoping that the evidence-based interventions that you all have in your packet, we're hoping, around the science of reading, best approaches in math instruction, using manipulatives and all of those things. We're hoping that by consistent access to that and utilizing our intervention process that we have in the school, that we'll be able to increase the growth and overall mastery for students with disabilities. Click. So we have our student growth targets, and here, this is kind of where we performed last year with 66% in reading, 65% in math, and the 3-year goal is to get to 80% or above with our students with disabilities. That's the 3-year goal. We know that it's going to happen in increments. We can only, push our students, but so far we're going to push them as far as we can. But we know it's going to take time. So if you look in the plan, you'll see where it's broken down into objectives, where we plan to be at the end of this year, the second and the third year to get to that 80. How are we going to do that? We're going to look at our practices and our evidence-based interventions. We're going to establish consistency. We're going to strengthen our implementation and responsiveness. So as soon as we identify a problem where a student may not be performing where they should be through our data, we're going to have those conversations and try to immediately address it. And then we're going to sustain those gains. So beyond this plan, we don't want to just do these things until the plan is over. We want these things to become part of how we operate, part of how we teach children, and continue past the plan. Implementation oversight. Again, the focus is going to be building staff capacity, not just in core instruction. We're working on that with our HQIM, and we're working closely with the curriculum and instruction department to strengthen our overall practices, but then looking specifically at our students with disabilities. Where are we leaving them behind? What additional supports will they need? What additional materials? How can we adjust what we're doing? How can we be consistent? So that's going to be the focus, making sure that teachers are prepared and have the tools in their tool belt to teach the students. Okay, click. Anticipated outcomes, it basically is just going to require us to analyze our data, collaborate, make sure that what we're using is research-based, making sure we're consistent. And we're hoping that if we do those things, that we will improve the outcomes for students with disabilities as we are improving the outcomes, the achievement outcomes for all students. So this plan focuses primarily on students with disabilities, but our goal at the elementary school is really to have quality, top-tier instruction for all students. So that's where we are. We think with some small tweaks to how we're teaching and what we're teaching will get us to where we need to be. Any questions? Questions?
Of course I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have to get to the 80% to get out from underneath this
No, ma'am.
designation? We do not.
No, ma'am. We're hoping. I asked Ms. Garrett that. I was like, how long do we have to do that? But I do. We can get out of this year if we can. You want to explain it a little bit further, Ms. Garrett?
Yes, so what really identified the elementary school was that they were the top 5% of CSI schools where they were identified. And so what we're really looking for is for them to be, it's like a 70, I had it written here, but it's like 71.8 for reading and a 74.1 for math.
Okay.
If we can get those, then we should be able to get out from what we are understanding now for students with disabilities.
And we're currently in the 60s, like 66%. So
Very
we,
close.
I think if we just kind of, again, tweak some things, how we're doing it, what resources we're using, what strategies, what practices, I think we'll
Very
get
achievable.
there. I think it's achievable for us to be out of this within a year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have one question.
Yes,
as well.
sir.
So the students with disabilities, I noticed when Ms. Garrett, I guess, reported, I think it was hers, like that was also very high absentee rate, like it was very, very high. Like, and obviously the two are correlated, I just didn't see anything in the plan about that. I'm sure there, don't feel like you have to answer if you don't have an answer right this second, but just wanted to make that like connection, of
Yes.
course, to continue those efforts of attendance, because we did, I mean, it was quite staggering difference between the students with disabilities and general education.
Yes, that was part of the root cause analysis, and teachers, when they disaggregated their data, it also bubbled to the surface. So they've been looking at all of the variables from discipline to attendance to achievement, benchmark scores. So they really did a deep dive and to try to get to the root cause. So we are addressing that as well. How do we communicate with parents? How do we reach out with parents? How do we provide support to parents when students are absent? How do we make up that time? So we're having all of those conversations and want to try to adjust our practices in that area as well.
In addressing the absenteeism, what if a student has, are we gonna make sure that they have transportation? Do we guarantee that in any way? Like if they are not able to make it to school for some reason or whatever, do we try to, do we have to, we do those buses and short buses and
Yes.
all the other buses?
So a student,
Do we
every
ever have
student
to
has
go
the
back?
opportunity to ride the school bus every day.
Okay,
Yes, because we are door-to-door pickup.
okay.
If there is a student that has a disability that requires special transportation, whether it's based on their disability, behavior, whatever it may be, based on what the IEP team's decision was to place them in special transportation, we actually go down their driveway to their house.
Okay.
So yes, there is opportunity for children to, yes. We are door-to-door pickup. And one of the things, talking a little bit about with Ms. Vance, and to go off the questions that were asked, and for the attendance, we're really focused on attendance this year. Incentives and communicating with parents, we're working on the communication and different things. Is that kudos to Mr. Foster, Ms. Garrett, Ms. Vance, we did a deeper dive into when Ms. Vance talked about a root cause. We looked at the different standards associated with the SOL test and how many questions were associated with that standard, and then how many of our students answered it, and then how many answered it correctly, incorrectly, and what were their choices. So we did a really deep dive into those standards and pulled that out, and then that information from those standards is being shared with grade level teachers, so that's where we focus. So that gets into that's when you really focus on the data piece to drive the conversations about why is Chip Jones missing this and where do we need to enhance our instruction. So yes, and then that is guiding some of our intervention work, whether it's during the regular school day or whether it's in after-school opportunities that we offer.
And one of Ms. Vance's action steps was to make sure that all of the teachers are trained on using multi-tiered systems of support effectively, which would then look at making sure we're using the data pieces like attendance, discipline, and academics, and then providing interventions for those pieces of data to the students throughout the school day. So that would address that.
So, you always look for the positive in a lot of things. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, like we do. So what this has done in having the principals, and I can't say enough about Ms. Vance and Ms. Clark-Reed and all the work they with their teams to put into the development of these plans, is it's really taken us to take a little more of a microscopic look into the data and what is it telling us, and then where do we need to refine our own practices. So it's causing, and it's changing the conversations and different things. So kudos to the team for that. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for the work y'all do.
Thank you all
Appreciate
so
I'd
much.
love to entertain a motion to approve the multi-year school support plan for the elementary school.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes, unanimous.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving into item D, approval of a resolution of the Prince Edward County School Board. So it's come up kind of multiple times in our kind of budget and finance discussions of the potential option of what it would mean for a 1% local sales tax that would be dedicated to capital improvement projects for the school. I mean, it came up last year. I went to Richmond and I testified on the House floor when it came up to you before, and it's continued to be shot down. Strong encouragement from our local legislators who are backing this as a bill to go through, strong kind of support in theory from the executive branch and Governor Spanberger. So kind of this is a way for us to kind of put our money where our mouth is and to show that we support this as a potential avenue to fund future capital improvement projects for the school. So tonight, hopeful that we can complete a vote to endorse this resolution, and I'm sure everybody has had a chance to read it, but if you have any questions or anything, we can certainly address those.
And if I may, on
Please.
something on that. So when you talk about, and we just talked about this in your approval of the information for the capital improvement. When we are in localities, Virginia, and we're in school divisions, capital improvement usually comes from the local taxpayer. Like if we had to do a ton of renovations, we have to go to the county to ask for those funds. And then the county has to allocate those funds from somewhere. And usually we know where that comes from, us. And as people pay personal property tax, they do it. So what this does is that when people come to Prince Edward County, whether it's citizens or whether it's people visiting the colleges, the universities coming to shop, there's a 1% tax. Yes, it is a tax that is added, and that revenue goes to school capital improvement. So it is a fund where this goes and it collects over time. And talking with Mr. Stanley, our county administrator, let's just say that was in place. Last year, that would have been the equivalent of about $3 million for Prince Edward County. And talking with Halifax, who has this, they have it, and they just built a new high school. They get anywhere from $6 to $8 million a year. Their payment on their high school is $5 million, so it's covering that. Charlotte County has this, and Charlotte County, anywhere, I think it's $75,000 to $80,000 a month go into this pot of money. So there are localities to have it. And what this does is the resolution, it would be a joint board effort, just letting the Board of Supervisors know that there is an interest in doing this and to put it on the ballot for the citizens to vote on it. It can't happen without a vote to the citizens in November. And yes, I get it. I'm born and raised in Southside Virginia. You talk about new taxes and people are raising taxes, their ears go up, I get it. But this is a tax that's just not for citizens, it's a 1%, but it is for everyone that comes through Prince Edward County, the town of Farmville, because there is a part in there as well, because the county and town overlap, that would have this tax. That's just my thoughts on it.
So the bill that's been proposed would just be to allow us to go and get signatures to get it on the ballot. So this in and of itself would not clear the pathway, but it would kind of set up the first
This
time.
just lets the board, Board of Supervisors know if there's an opportunity that we would support that.
And as board members, we would actually actively support it.
Support it, yes.
Absolutely.
Go ahead and speak on it.
Yeah, the Board of Supervisors cannot, they could not, but a school board and,
We can.
yes.
We
We
can
can.
speak on it. And
Now the time for questions or discussion,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
does it have to be
You can talk.
the motion made? All right, so I've been thinking about this a lot, and also born and raised in Southside
Yes,
Virginia. I'm not interested in adding another tax to people. However, this is 1%. It's not, I would rather have this sales tax than an increase in real estate or personal property tax. It's more fair. And if I wanna make sure I'm correct on this, somebody from out of state even comes and shops at Greenfront,
Yes,
Yes,
we get that
Yes.
1%.
yes, ma'am,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
and a vote tonight does not add a tax.
No.
It puts it as an amendment to be voted on.
If we sign this, if this resolution is signed tonight, what it does is it lets the board of supervisors know that there is an interest from the school board that we pursue this. But at the end of the day, it would be up to the board of supervisors to determine whether it goes on the ballot to be voted in November.
And is there a term on this?
No, ma'am.
This would be forever, this would be
Yeah.
for 10 years,
This
20
is,
years?
I have not heard of a term,
Okay,
yes.
cause I had heard something, that it may be like a 20-year term. That,
I have not heard
I
that.
have not heard that.
okay,
That has not been mentioned to me.
okay,
And I haven't seen that in any of the language, but
okay.
This will benefit our grandchildren's
Oh,
grandchildren.
I have no doubt the kids need this.
yeah.
I am 100% that the kids need this, but I just wanna go on record saying I'm not for adding taxes to the
sure.
people, but this is 1%, and it all comes to us at the school, and it doesn't all come from us. It comes from everybody that's here shopping in Prince Edward County. There's a lot of shopping going on in
It
Prince
is.
Edward County. So, even from people who are not here,
Yes,
so
sir.
it is, you know, it's just, that just needs to be said, cause it's not just, okay, we're adding a tax, no,
Right.
we're taking advantage of something that could bring a lot of
Yes.
money in too.
And this is desperately needed. Again, being involved in capital projects before, previous boards that I had an opportunity to work with, our students, our children, our staff, our school community, we know we have needs. We can walk to the high school, the middle school, and, there's needs across. And we're thankful for this funding that's come through and working with the Board of Supervisors. But this is something that Dr. Jones just mentioned. We lost out on $3 million this past year. And that just frustrates me. To see what that $3 million could have gone in addition to the Barbara Johns Auditorium and all the other improvements that what we want to have. So, again, and just like you mentioned, Ms. Simpson, this is something that all of, just not Prince Edward residents, but everyone that comes to Prince Edward County
Especially,
would benefit from, our kids and staff.
And I had this resolution vetted by our attorney, and he said it was good.
especially when you consider our neighbors have it and we don't. And when you look at Farmville and Prince Edward itself, the way it, it's like a hub, it's the heart of it, and then, and people, it's transient, so it's not really the local folks who are gonna be
Oh,
paying
yes,
the
the
taxes,
potential
it's
to do
people
this
who
a
are
lot.
coming and going all the time.
Well, and I'm gonna say this out loud, but if we don't get this, the only other way to really fund capital improvements is going to be raising property taxes.
And we do not.
And
want to
that
do
is the last thing anybody wants or needs. I mean, I don't know a single person who would raise their hand and say, "Man, please raise my property tax." You know, I really wanna pay more.
Yeah.
And so, and ultimately, I agree with, that I hate new taxes. I don't want any new taxes either, but this one, to me, is a little bit different in that the burden is not just on the citizens of Prince Edward
Agreed.
County.
I agree.
It is whoever comes in, drives into our county, stops at the Wawa
Yeah.
and buys a candy bar or a muffin, they're helping support our schools across the street from them.
And it's letting the people decide, like.
And it lets the
And
people
let the
decide,
people
that's
decide.
right.
Like it's not.
And it will be hard work for us, y'all, to get
Absolutely.
to, we will, if this happens, we will need to make a plan how we will get the word out to our community and to our people that how desperately needed this is. But we have work, but we gotta get it on the ballot first.
Yeah.
And the blessing of getting a new school is that obviously we're getting a newly renovated school, right? But it's also brought the question, well, when the middle school, when the high school, what we gonna do for the football? I'm just like, well, wait a minute, wait a minute, we're in the midst of the fun now.
And here's the thing in that, and this is where it's exciting that we're getting a new school. It is exciting that we're getting one. But I wanna stress this, it will not always be a new school. As each day it gets older, there will be repairs that are
That's right.
associated with that.
Yes.
And then we have to maintain it. There's a lot of excitement when we get new things, because we're excited, we haven't had it so long. But then when you turn around, that new thing's getting older every day and we gotta maintain it.
That's
So
right.
it still looks like that new thing. And when there's not dollars to do that after you've paid people, kept the lights on, and health insurance and everything along the way, capital improvement is one of those things, vehicle replacement, not that that's with this, kinda goes to the wayside.
It does.
Because people see that as it is a necessity, but they see it's something, oh, we can kick the can on that one more year. And then when you get to a point where you've kicked the can so much, you got a hole in that can, so.
Which is what happened across
Yeah.
the street. Well, I move that we approve the resolution of Prince Edward County School Board that shows our support to the Board of Supervisors for a 1% sales tax to come for capital improvements. Did I say it right?
So,
Huh? Okay.
motion's been made and seconded. Any final discussion? All those in favor? Alright, motion passes. It is unanimous. Okay, moving into non-action items. AI policy, first reading, Mr. Crabtree.
Good evening, Chairman Townsend, members of the board, Dr. Cox. Tonight I am pleased to present for your review the Prince Edward County Public Schools proposed artificial intelligence computer use policy. This policy was developed through a collaborative process involving district administrators and our partners at a advanced learning partnership. They assisted us in shaping a framework grounded in best practices. In addition, this policy aligns with the general principles outlined in former Governor Youngkin's Executive Order Number 30 and guidance from the Virginia Board of Education. At its core, this policy establishes clear expectations for acceptable and unacceptable use. It emphasizes human oversight in all decision-making. It protects students and staff's privacy and reinforces academic integrity. It also affirms that AI should serve as a support tool for teaching, learning, and operations, but never as a replacement for professional judgment. Our goal is to provide staff and students with opportunities to leverage innovative technologies while ensuring strong safeguards, responsible use, and ongoing training. This policy creates a foundation that allows us to adapt as the technology evolves. I appreciate the board's time and consideration and welcome any questions or feedback you have regarding this policy. Thank you.
I don't have any immediate questions myself. I don't know about the rest of the board members, but I appreciate the forward thinking with this. I mean,
I do have
no, I'm not, but I appreciate us looking forward to this because, I mean, if we don't teach them how to use it ethically, they're gonna use it unethically. And so, better to be using it and creating better, tools to detect cheating with AI and things of that nature rather than to just completely ban it and go back to stone tablet and hammer and nail. So, yes, Dr. Crowe.
no, I'm actually, that's okay.
Any other questions from Mr. Crabtree? Yeah, please.
So, Ms. Simpson, to go back to what you were asking about the 1%, I know we passed it, I think that, but I was thinking there has to be so, what the new bill does, you are correct in the fact that there was an expiration on some of them, that the 1% was used for certain projects. This moving forward takes away the expiration date, so what you heard, so I looked that up, I went and read the bill that's being proposed.
Okay.
Wow, I was listening to you, Mr. Crabtree. But yes, so that takes that away. So originally, when it was done, years ago, there was an expiration date. Let's say you wanted to do it for this for the elementary school, there had to be an expiration date. This takes away the date. It's just indefinite.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I wanted to clarify that for you.
May I ask another question, just popped into my head about it, I know that we're past it, so it doesn't have, it's just an informational thing, is that okay? It's sales tax, does that include food?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So restaurants and?
Yeah.
See?
If they can only if they serve food.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Moving into item B, calendar for 2026, 2027, and 2027, 2028. School calendar's first reading, Ms. Garrett.
Hey, good evening again. Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Jones. All right, first of all, thank you all for all of your hard work as board members. I know this job is not easy, but it does not go unnoticed, all that you all do for the students here at Prince Edward County and for the teachers here at Prince Edward County Public Schools. So right now, I would like to talk to you all about, this is just the first read of our calendars. And this year, the few things I want to talk about is really we're looking at 2 years. I want to talk to you about a process that we did this year. We pulled people together like we've done in the past, but we presented them with 3 options of 2-year calendars. So we're actually going to be looking at 2 years out. And then we asked them to give us some feedback. We talked about some dates, and then once a calendar was decided on, a 2-year plan was decided on, that was then presented to the staff for feedback, and we took their input. And then this is where these 2 calendars came in for development. Looking at this, just some of the feedback and what we considered. The big thing is the elementary school construction timeline. We cannot start in July with the elementary school construction. So that's why we're gonna have to push the start of school to August. A big thing was not starting on a Monday. That's hard for students, it's hard for teachers, it's hard for everybody. So starting on a Wednesday was a really big request from everybody. And then trying to not start the first week of August. If we could push it to the second week was a request. Looking at, we've talked about this before because we have block scheduling with the high school. We have to stop at the first semester when we stop for winter break. So trying to make sure we get all of that for the block scheduling prior to winter break. That's a consideration that we need to take, and it's challenging to get those days in and those hours in. So trying to make sure we stay between the 990 and the 100 day for the state requirements. And then we looked at fall break. We know we've had that for the past, I think, 3 years. We've omitted the fall break, taking into the consideration that we had to start later. But we have made sure there is at least a break in October on both years. So there's still a break there. Everyone still has one day, but it's a day. And I think we have parent-teacher conferences or something there so that there's still a break.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
So in the fall, here's the thing about a fall break, absolutely people love it, but in reality, okay, is that it happens right before we take the high school writing test. That usually takes place. And then for the fall, there's lots of breaks built in, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's winter, whatever. And somewhere along the way, you have to have weeks of continuity of instruction. Because what happens is we get students in, we build a routine, and then we take this break. And then we get them back and we take this break. So continuity of instruction, as we work to come out of a TSI and a CSI, we need that. So, you know, but everyone's still mindful, got the 1 day.
The other considerations that we looked at were professional development and teacher work days. You know, some of the comments we received, and it is understandable, is parent-teacher conference day is a really long day. You know, you go to 7 o'clock, and then if we started back at a regular school day for teachers, that will be a long day with them going straight through. So considering that and having a professional development day that following day, we're building professional development days in our calendar anyway, so trying to match those up made sense. So we tried to match those up where we could, and we were able to do that pretty much through the calendar. That's really the only place we're seeing half days, because we knew half days were challenging for students, they're challenging for parents, and they really do not give us our best instructional time. So we tried to minimize them when possible, so parent-teacher conferences, they have to fall there. So we tried to stay away from them other than that. And then trying to make sure that graduation happened after school ended. For the first year, we were able to manage that, and it made sense, really nice on the calendar. The second year, it just didn't kind of work as well, because we're also trying to be aware of, we're in a 2-college town, and we want to be respectful of the college graduations as well, and not have them on the exact same days.
We called all the colleges and then we got the dates. We did a little bit. And one of the other things in December, if I may, Ms. Garrett, is we'll get out on the 18th if this is approved for winter break. And this has been a common practice in a lot of school divisions, is that that's a half day. I had a hard time in my mind justifying a half day when actually Christmas is not for a week away, that we go the full day on the 18th, because sometimes that can cause a little chaos. So that will be a full day of school.
And so those are the main considerations that were taken in. We received quite a bit of feedback. We included most of the feedback that we could and still remained within our state compliance, and keeping the days that we could. The first semester is a bear to get those days in. It really is challenging. Second semester, we could add days in May and be fine.
And I've worked with the construction company, if this is approved, that, working on the date, and they were good, because this year it was quick. July was, so we tried, and like Ms. Garrett said, it's just like anything. We listened to the suggestions, but at the end of the day, these are the parameters, and we tried to still honor some breaks that people wanted. 3 days at Thanksgiving, 2 weeks at winter, a work day when people come back, spring break and different things, and it's just so much time. But I mean, with this year is the first year we approached the 2-year calendar rollout, so we thought that might be helpful to families as well.
That's a good idea.
And teachers.
Yeah, teacher, everyone.
So any questions for this, any suggestions? We'll bring it back again for.
We can put it out. Once we wanted to present to you all first, and then we'll put it out on our website and different things for feedback.
From parents.
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to commend the calendar committee and everyone involved, Ms. Garrett, with the schools. It's a cumbersome, monumental job of a lot of hours, so looking at a lot of variables, so you know, did a really good job
Yeah, we
presenting this.
from the, we're looking at the instructional piece and different things. We went in with some parameters. These are the norms. These are what we call the non-negotiables. Protecting some of the breaks and different things, so.
Thank you, Ms. Garrett.
All right, thank you.
That will return to us in March, right? March meeting?
Yes.
Confirmed?
Yes.
Moving on to item C, VSBA honor roll, first reading. So we are to discuss possible candidates for the VSBA honor roll. We do this every year, and this is the business one, Dr. Jones, and remind me, is there different categories?
It is, for this one, just the different, local businesses, that help support.
Do you have a recommendation?
So, yes, yes ma'am. We can, absolutely. There's lots of businesses along the way that have supported us, local businesses, and it's been the ones that have really partnered with us for our CTE, work-based learning. And Mr. Foster, those currently are, I don't want to mess them up.
I'm pulling it up right now, the work-based learning tracking sheet. So we have Prince Edward.
We're gonna do it right now. Mr. Lee, you could, or Mr. Foster, yeah, somebody.
I have the whole list.
All right, here we go.
It's Prince Edward Animal Control, Airmark, B&M Greenhouse, TJ Safety and Training, that used to be at work, Prince Edward Cannery, Fisher Auto Parts, Haley Auto Mall, North Street Press Club. Now we have some campus. We want to look at the community. Okay, Ridge Animal Hospital and WFLO.
They're all the partnerships that we've.
How many do we get to do? As many as we want?
It's three.
Three, oh.
Well, I think we can pull who we did last year,
Yes.
right? So WFLO, I think we did last year, or was it kicking?
We did both.
Okay.
That was media.
That's
was
media.
media. Do we know who we did last year for business?
One of them.
Haley was one,
I remember Haley.
yes.
So,
Ms. Ridge, we did Haley.
I think we did last year.
This is behind.
Press club?
Press club.
We didn't do the press
They
club.
would be new.
Yeah, I don't think we did the press club last year.
Press
To go
press
back and
club.
look at it, then we have done it this meeting.
We did the animal control last year too.
We did not do press.
you didn't do the
club last year.
cannery.
I think we did the animal control last year.
Yeah,
yeah.
airline.
No, I don't think we did the cannon.
So I would do
We did not
press
do
club,
animal.
cannery, and
Ridge Hospital.
well, yeah. Why don't you,
We did not do Ridge last year.
Ridge Hospital.
Ridge Animal Hospital, yes, we should do that, Ridge Animal
Yes,
Hospital,
we
yes.
should.
I would recommend to you all that we do Ridge Animal Hospital, the Press Club, and,
We have Airmark. that's-
Airmark.
They're over there, yeah.
They were the three I would consider.
So we don't make a motion this time, we'll do that next time, and there will be those three that
Yes.
we'll put on there. Okay,
Nominate.
sounds good to me.
Okay. Moving into item D, Prince Edward County Public Schools, School Board Code of Conduct. This is our first reading. This is again, something we do pretty much every year, just kind of our standards and norms of kind of protocol and procedure for us as board members in relation to each other, in relation to just our roles as school board members. So, no vote today, but we've all, for the most part, seen this before, but it's pretty much cut and dry. And after we approve it, we'll all sign it, and it will be our code for the year. Yep. Any questions about that before we move on? Back in the information items. Item A, multi-year school support plan, Prince Edward County Middle School, Ms. Clark Reed.
I asked Ms. Garrett if she was gonna come up and help me as well.
They've got
Alright,
a
soon
good.
she said no.
She kinda just looked at me.
Understanding.
Good evening,
They
I
understand.
hope. Good evening, School Board Chair, Mr. Townsend, Dr. Jones, and members of the school board. I stand before you in hopes that you all have had the opportunity to review the middle school's multi-year school support plan. If it pleases the board, I would like to take a few minutes to provide an overview and share some plan specifics. Good. Prince Edward County Middle School's designation as a comprehensive support and improvement or CSI school based on the 24-25 SOL results necessitates a sustained multi-year approach to address systemic challenges that we have impacting student achievement. The needs assessment that we provided identified prioritized root causes that require coordinated long-term strategies rather than short-term solutions. So I worked this out with who, what, when, where, why, but not in that order. So the plan, the what, addresses, ensures, provides, establishes, and builds. So these are the bullets. Addresses multiple prioritized root causes through clearly defined 3-year goals, aligned framework indicators, measurable objectives, and most importantly, evidence-based strategies. It ensures coherence across instructional practices, professional development, and leadership actions. It provides a structure for monitoring implementation, including action steps, timelines, progress checks, and measures of success, which you see in the plan. It establishes accountability by identifying process owners, intended outcomes, costs, and funding sources. And finally, the plan builds instructional capacity and strengthens systems to improve student outcomes, close achievement gaps, which I will discuss momentarily, and to meet state accountability expectations for CSI schools. So here's the how. These are the evidence-based strategies that we've identified. Now, in the plan that we used last year, the CSSP plan, we identified 3 strategies. per the requirements of this plan, we have 4. So we have moved 3 over and we have added 1. So for English, you will see 2. Last year, we just utilized improving adolescent literacy, strengthening literacy instruction through PD, explicit vocabulary instruction, and direct comprehension strategy instruction. So the one we've added is providing reading intervention specifically for those grades listed, building decoding, fluency, and comprehension skills to support students' understanding of complex texts. So we added number 2 because we have found repeatedly that we need to focus on comprehension in reading. We find that children are able to read, but are they understanding what they're reading? For mathematics, improving mathematical problem solving, this is a carryover. Use professional development and feedback to support aligned instruction and help students reflect on problem solving processes. We have to remember that math is no longer just procedural. We have to move into problem solving. And then science, which is very similar to math, aligned science curriculum implementation, again using PD and feedback to ensure consistent standards aligned science instruction to improve student achievement. So with this plan, we have 3-year goals, which is another difference. This is the win, so we have some time parameters here. So our English goal specifically is to improve performance of African American students over the next 3 years, beginning from a baseline of 78.01. And you note that African American students are highlighted here, and we will talk about why and how we're going to address their needs. And so the key actions for both are linked to the evidence-based strategies that I just talked about, but a little more in detail. So we have implementation of targeted PD and coaching, so teachers consistently deliver this instruction that we're referencing. And then for the second, evidence-based reading interventions, and specifically strengthening decoding of multisyllabic words, building reading fluency, and again, linking it to comprehension. And these are the foundations. So again, working children through reading multisyllabic words, decoding the meaning, building fluency, and then moving to comprehension. With math, we are moving African American children from a baseline of 76.91, implementing those problem-solving instructional strategies, having students to monitor, and that reflection piece is an increased or a higher level thinking skill. And so we have to move children past just performing the math itself, but how to think about it. Problem-solving routines, which we know our students can utilize well, and then formative assessments across all math classrooms. Science, we're going to improve African American students from 84.53 as our baseline, using targeted professional development, coaching, and data-informed feedback, of course, moving students forward. This is the why and the who. These are the achievement gaps that I've referenced. So here, this is a very passionate undertaking for me. This references SOL performance data indicating a persistent, and that's the key word here, achievement gap for African American students when compared to their peers. That highlights inequities to access high quality, culturally responsive instruction, and that's across all content areas. To address these disparities, the school will build teacher capacity through targeted PD and instructional coaching. Teachers will implement inclusive, culturally responsive instructional strategies, and the consistent implementation is going to yield results. It will ensure equitable access to high-quality learning experiences. We are not talking about race here, we're talking about cultural differences. And what's passionate to me is building cultural awareness and sensitivity in our schools. And I think that is something that is across Virginia, not just our school. And so we have to look at our student population and who it is that we're serving, our clientele, okay? Any questions for me? Yes?
forgive me with the language is, between this plan and the other plan. This is not a plan that we could, like, if you had a phenomenal 1 year, you couldn't get out of this one early. Either way, you have to be in this one for 3, right? Isn't that the breakdown?
So that's where, yes, so I'm still waiting on it exact for that. So my understanding was last year, we had to be in it for multiple years. I wanna know exactly, last year it would have been 2 years. So now I'm still wanting to know, would it have been 2 years from last year, or does it need to be 2 years from now?
So on that, the accountability and the accreditation piece is, right now we have a new administration. Governor,
Everybody's.
everyone's new. So no one is really sure what accreditation is going to look like right now, but this is currently what we have. So I would imagine that is going to be talked through with the General Assembly and the Board of Education and what that will look like for the 26-27 school year based on the results from the spring of 26. It's an ongoing conversation.
I will say, we met today to review this plan, and they said it was clear that they could see the growth
Yeah.
from the middle school data, from the plan that we had implemented previously, and it
Yes.
was evident that what we were doing was working, and they could definitely see the growth, so, we're moving in the right direction.
If I could add, I can attribute some of this, or quite a bit of this, from our last plan to now with the teachers' very hard work. They have really, just come up to, they just rise continually. So I have to thank them. The other thing is that we started to implement some of the plan language from last year into all that we do. So we have planning sessions each week, and in our PLCs, we discuss data bi-weekly. It was part of our plan that worked. We also are using the evidence-based strategies, literally tell us where this is in the lesson plan, show us how the children are going to work on comprehension, direct instruction, what are you as the teacher going to provide all of your children, what is the best that you can give, that's that Tier 1 instruction. So I have to give kudos to them. We are again infusing this into everything we do, and we are expecting great results.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Green.
Please keep up the good work.
So much.
Awesome job.
And then item B, school-based mental health services update, Ms. McClure.
Good evening, Madam, Mr. Chair. I'm so used to Ms.
Still
Carson.
getting adjusted to you.
Chairman Townsend, Dr. Jones, and members of the school board. Happy School Board Appreciation Month to you all. I have a very brief update on mental health. As you know, we are transitioning into our telehealth, mental health, and we were able to, we're down one counselor with Fulcrum, so we were able to stretch those funds to help keep boots on the ground through the end of May. My big celebration that I want to share with all of you is that our first 3 students enrolled in mental health, and it was over our winter storm. And so, if we said in the beginning, if we saved one child, it was worth it. And the top reasons are depression and anxiety. So that was a huge celebration, and they were late at night. So, school was closed. It was late at night, and our children were able to get access to services. So
That is very good.
that's the celebration I have. Any questions for me? Okay.
You have questions?
And they're able to access it just by logging in? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's a good feeling.
Have you heard any feedback from their families?
I have not. I have not heard anything. I have heard some things, but things that I can't share publicly. I forgot what I was going to say.
Can I ask if they were older children?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
If they were, okay. That's been my concern all along,
I
with the
know.
young ones, but I'm happy to hear that. That is very good news, because you're right, if we save one, then it's worth it.
Yeah, and having that available is It's big, that's
That
good
is big.
though, just to have it available. It's 24/7 pretty much, isn't it?
Yes, sir, and I can
So-
see the children in in our dashboard, I can see who has upcoming sessions, when they're scheduled, when they're supposed to get their next
So
session.
you can follow along.
I can.
And these 3 kids rescheduled, did they make?
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask how the children have been informed about the Fulcrum?
So there's links on our division website, there are links on the school websites. We have sent them home through Class Dojo, through our Remind apps. It's gone out on social media, so it's out there.
Dr. Arietta asked about Fulcrum.
I think you meant,
Did you
Did you
mean
mean-
Fulcrum or
Fulcrum?
do you mean Fulcrum or you mean the remote?
I meant both.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, which one did we lose? Fulcrum? Who doesn't have, middle and high or
Middle and
sharing?
high are sharing,
Share,
Correct.
okay,
and the elementary still has theirs.
okay,
It's all done
Okay.
across all of our schools.
Yes.
yes, okay.
Thank you so much, Ms. McClure.
And we were able to do that in-house without having to go to the board of supervisors to ask for additional funds to
That was
keep
very
that.
good. That's even better.
Yes.
And I am still digging in the data, but I'm not, I guess I just analyze too much because I was a stats teacher. But one of the pieces of data that I was able to pull yesterday, and I wasn't ready to present to you all because I just haven't gotten it to where I want it yet. But one of the pieces was the most discipline with this group of students happens in April on Thursdays around 9 a.m. So
Very specific.
we're getting down into the weeds of, and so like they were talking about with their school support plans, getting down to the root causes and really digging and seeing how we can put some supports in place.
Because we're looking at, go ahead.
You said this group, our group of students?
So what I've been doing is I've been tagging the Fulcrum, the children that have been receiving Fulcrum counseling.
Okay,
And they started receiving services here in 21-22.
okay.
Some kids may still be receiving services 5 years later. So I've had to do every single child individually.
Okay.
And I'm still working on that data. I stayed up honestly till 1:30 Saturday night,
So
still
April
working.
seems to be a time of the year.
Yes, I'm obsessed with this data.
April, you
I'll
said
get it to you.
April on Thursdays?
April,
9 a.m.
Thursdays, 9 a.m.
Springtime.
Dang.
Something's happening right now.
So what we're doing, and the data that we're looking at is, what Ms. McClure is doing is she's going through all the students enrolled in Prince Edward County Public Schools and looking at who's received Fulcrum counseling throughout and how are they with attendance, behavior. We're really drilling down to
Academics.
see if we've been getting a good return on our investment.
Impact.
And would it behoove us to have our own?
Correct.
Yes. Yes. So
Thank you
that
so
that
much
is
for
why
doing
we
that.
are tracking.
I'm sorry.
Saturday nights.
And most normal people would have had that ready for you, but I've been looking at it too much, I
Ms.
think.
McClure, I can say, when she gets into her numbers and there's data and Miss McClure and Mr. Foster, when they get in their spreadsheets and these numbers, and I ask for these different things or say, I'd like to see this, and all of a sudden it's this full-blown presentation, and it's pretty impressive actually what they do.
Sorry, we're a little passionate.
Which is good, that's a good thing to have.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the data when it's,
Me too.
when it's ready.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Ms. McClure.
Thank you.
All right, moving into item C, academic discussion, CTE highlights, Mr. Lee.
All right, good evening, Chairman Townsend, Dr. Jones and the school board. Happy school board month. It's a pleasure to be before you today to have the opportunity to share academic accomplishments and highlights of the Prince Edward County Career and Technical Center. While many aspects of education can be measured through data, one of the most important components of a successful school community cannot be easily quantified. Culture, climate, and community. As we enter the school year, we focus on intentionally building a school community grounded in relationships, respect, trust, transparency, and communication. All with one central goal, to create an environment where all students experience acceptance, appreciation, respect, encouragement, comfort, and success. These are elements that cannot be found in data, but are immediately felt when you enter our building. When students walk through our doors, they feel wanted, not just accepted, and they feel supported, not alone. They quickly understand that while expectations are high, the love, encouragement, and support needed to meet those expectations can be found throughout the classrooms, hallways, and offices of Prince Edward County CTE. This culture is fueled by a committed staff who enters the building each day with a collective mindset to support one another as we support our students. As we begin this presentation, focused on legacy, pride, excellence within the CTE building, we will highlight that legacy found in our staff, showcase the pride demonstrated through our daily work, and share the excellence reflected in our data and ongoing efforts. This presentation will highlight work that is often overlooked because it cannot always be captured numerically, but instead is best told through narrative and lived experiences. So, legacy is built through a committed and dedication of people. Our key goal entering the school year was to identify our strength and initially build upon those. One strength became clear almost immediately is the collective commitment of our staff. As a former coach, I understand that people are what makes everything happen, and I'm incredibly proud of the people in the building. I would like to take the opportunity to highlight our staff, starting with Mr. Mike Weaver. Mr. Weaver is our auto tech instructor, and he's been here over 30 years, serving the students of Prince Edward County. He's a cornerstone of our CTE building. He is the 2025-26 Prince Edward County Public School Teacher of the Year. He takes ownership of his students and the success beyond his classroom, and he demonstrates care and support for students throughout the building. He advocates for CTE programs, serves on multiple advisory boards, is our Prince Edward County High School golf coach, and he's an elected member of his local school board. Next, we have Mr. Donald McClellan. He has over 25 years of service as Prince Edward County serving our students. He's our culinary arts instructor and our FFA sponsor. Mr. McClellan is a student-centered educator who consistently advocates for his students. He creates opportunity for students beyond the classroom. He's highly respected and connected within the culinary arts community. He's committed daily to helping students reach their full potential. And his program remains one of our most popular ones in the building and is reflected through his consistent high enrollment. Next, we have Mr. Ed Swartz. Mr. Ed Swartz has over 5 years of service to Prince Edward County Public Schools. He teaches multiple business courses. He's a co-sponsor of FBLA. He embraces all students, engages learning through creative and critical thinking. And he is a former member of the United States Armed Forces and brings a strong service mindset to our building. Mr. Ed Swartz is the one on the left. I had a hard time finding their pictures. They elude the camera. Mr. Dean Swartz is his brother. He also teaches business and cybersecurity. He's been here over 5 years. And I call him a Swiss Army knife. He's always willing just to come support any ideas that I have. He combines creativity, dedication, and follow through. If he says it's gonna get done, I don't have to go behind him. Believe it, it's gonna get done. He came to me earlier this year, and I don't know if anybody's visited the CTE recently, but we had it was like a plaque board. It wasn't even like a trophy case. It was more for like plaques, and it was just there. And he came to me one day, he was like, there's some old monitors in what used to be a distance learning lab. He's like, what do you think if we throw those on the wall and make them into a board where we can do announcements and put pictures on there? I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a great idea. I go in my office, later I come back out, they're starting to take the board down, and we contact the majors that go into work, and if you go over now, we have 2 monitors that we do our highlights, and it was lickety split. He went right to it. He's also a veteran who brings that service-oriented mindset daily, committed to the team and success and builds goals. And as our FBLA sponsor, he creates mindful, meaningful experiences and exposure for students beyond the classroom. Next, we have Ms. Hicks. Ms. Hicks is a graduate of Prince Edward County Public Schools and is a result-driven business professional with 35+ years of analytics, 20+ years in software development and testing. She transitioned to education in 2019 and has served students for over 5 years. She teaches GED, jobs for Virtual Virginia, and economics and personal finance. She's especially proud of the 4 students who have already earned their GED this year. thus far in the fall. So we have 4 students who successfully completed the GED.
That's impressive.
Yes.
The GE test, they changed it, it's a hard.
Really hard. I was really impressed, really impressed.
That is impressive.
Next we have Mr. Terrence Bedeau. He teaches engineering, architecture, design, and drawing. He has over 5 years of service here as well. Passionate about students, never give up on students. He consistently sees the good in every learner. Mr. Bedeau supports both students and colleagues daily. He's also a former member of the United States Armed Forces and actively collaborates across programs. Next we have Ms. Chanel Reese. She's a first year at Prince Edward County Public Schools, highly accomplished and strongly recommended. She's a master hair braider and a successful salon owner. You may see the word there of the GOAT. I put that on there because when I did a reference check on her, one of her supervisors said that the individuals in the cosmetology world referred to her as the GOAT. That was the reference. And I said, I gotta get the GOAT. The greatest of all time is what they called her. So I was like, I gotta have her. In 1 year, she's built the program from the ground up. You guys got to come by, take a look at her classroom. It's set up, the lab is set up. It is amazing. It's a great space. Her bulletin board is great. It's updated. She's on it. She's built the program from the ground up, taking the first year students from program launch in August to going to compete at Skills USA. We were supposed to compete over the snow break. It was last Monday, but I think they rescheduled to next Monday, if I'm correct. But she provides an immersive, real-world cosmetology experience.
And we want to get you all over to see this. If you've not been in this salon,
Really great.
it is impressive. And I've been called a lot of animal, one animal in particular. I've never been called the goat. Not the real term, maybe the little slang term for it.
Lastly, I wanted to, but not least, Ms. Woodson, who's our office manager, she's actually the glue that holds everything together. She works with high school attendance as well. She's the attendance clerk. This is her first year. She's actively involved in youth athletics within our community very highly. The students affectionately refer to as Boss Lady. She maintains this warm, professional office environment. She coordinates transportation and work-based learning and those logistics as well.
And you talk about somebody that can find a parent to contact. If you need to find a parent, that is your person. She will find them.
Absolutely. Partnering with Ms. Amos, she also leads positive attendance initiatives. She's, again, truly the glue that holds together. I also would like to thank and acknowledge Ms. Amos, who works in our building, and we're all a family. So she interacts with our students, and she's part of a family. Mr. Wilson as well, whose office is there, and Ms. Edwards, who's our long-term substitute right now. We lost Ms. Talbot. She went to be a building level administrator, so she got a promotion. And so Ms. Edwards came in, and she's doing a great job subbing for her. And we would just like to recognize the support of the rest of the central office, school counseling, high school administrator team, and support staff as well. All right. So the Pride, these going to be just a bunch of pictures and highlights of what we do. But again, I want to tell the story through the narrative of pictures. We find pride in the work we do and the students, their accomplishments. Our automotive auto tech program has right now 48 students enrolled in that program, and they do services on cars. They're led by our teacher, division teacher of the year, Mr. Mike Weaver. And they provide automotive repair services across the division. So you'll be surprised how many teachers actually go have their cars worked on at our shop. We probably average 4 to 5 cars per week that we service, doing certain things like oil changes, basic maintenance and repair, and tires. 4 to 5, not 45.
I don't think you said 45.
No, not 45. No, 4 to 5. Yes, one a day almost. One a day. No, we're not pumping them out like that.
You got a little business going on there.
Dr. Joe's like, where's the money?
We got a dog.
You got it going on.
We're gonna tag that.
But we have 10 students that completed or currently completed long-term internships with Haley Automotive and Fisher Auto Parts as well. Our business marketing cybersecurity FBLA highlights. We currently have 123 students enrolled in our business cybersecurity classes. We offer dual enrollment, introduction to business management, cybersecurity fundamentals, cybersecurity operations, dual enrollment, intro to digital information literacy, business law, principles of business and marketing, and digital applications. Highlights, we have 12 students participating in external internships currently. We have an active FBLA chapter. They had a successful donut fundraiser. See some of those pictures. Our FBLA participates in several FBLA events. That's not AI generated right there. Students attached attended the Washington Commanders Business Day in Landover, Maryland, and marketing display window project. As you can see in that photo on the left, became a point of pride for students and staff. So we had this window. We switched into the class and it was like this window with these like light bulbs. And we was like, what is it? And then Mr. Schwartz did some research and was like, well, it's supposed to be a display for, you know, like windows for marketing and putting products in the window. So they decided to do a Christmas display or a holiday display. And we used it during the holiday social to allow people to take pictures.
That was a hit, by the way.
It was a hit. So many people.
Those were fun.
Good to see that. So there's a donut fundraiser. The gentleman at the Commander State in Landover. Culinary arts highlights. FCCLA. I'm sorry. Have 45 students enrolled. We offer intro, culinary 1, 2, and 3. Students gain real world experience and internship experiences. Some of their highlights of we've catered some events throughout the division. We prepared meals for Delegate Wright and Senator Seifers during their fall visit. Provided cookies for multiple schools. We have a new product called the Eddy Machine, which allows them to do 3D imagery on cookies to sell and eat. So it's pretty cool. We participated in the STEM night as well with that group. Mr. McCullen is very active with the FCCLA. They go to competitions. I have to tell this story. One of the reasons why I ended up here was because Mr. McCullen and his FCCLA competition. I was at Virginia Beach last spring on spring break. They go during spring break every year. I'm literally at the beach with my family. We're just relaxing. This Prince Edward bus pulls up. I'm like, wow, how lucky. I went to Prince Edward, so I'm excited. Like, wow, there's a Prince Edward bus. It's on the same block. I'm going out to put some coins in the meter. So I'm waiting, I'm like, who's gonna get off this bus? And lo and behold, it's Mr. McCullen with his FCCLA students about to go to a conference. He said, hey, you know, we got some openings down at Prince Edward. I'm thinking, what's the likelihood? There's like 30-some blocks of streets in Virginia Beach, and I'm on the street where this bus comes, and McCullen gets off and says,
See, that's
hey.
recruiting happens.
That's right.
I'm like, it gotta be made to be. So I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. So they stay pretty active there. Engineering and CAD highlights. We have 31 students there. Dual enrollment, architecture design, technical drawing, electronics, industrial robotics. The blueprint designs and the layout for the cosmetology lab was created by our technical drawing classes. So they collaborated with them to create those layouts. We have a greenhouse expansion plan in place that they've also done as well. And they also participated in the STEM showcase as well. Cosmetology, we talked about those, 25 students. We have Cosmetology 1 right now. They have the state-of-the-art cosmetology lab, field trips to Skills USA. We had a huge activity that, I mean, people were coming from all over to vote on these mannequins. The project was called Anything But Hair Holiday Mannequin Contest. So they had a mannequin contest where they were designed holiday themes, and people came to vote on different different mannequins for students to win. So those were some of the projects that they did during the holiday. All right. I know I'm coming down to the backstretch. They threatened me to say not be too long, but we're coming down to the backstretch. I already prepared, so I'm over. So there we go. FFA agriculture highlights. They stayed really busy during the fall. We had a lot of visitors that come in during the fall. We took trips to cattle farms, meat processing plant. They went to the state fair. We had a guest speaker, veterinarian, former veterinarian, a farm owner. We had a horsemanship instruction from Deshaun Forbes. He's the owner of Dragon F Ranch in Buckingham. So I actually got to throw the rope as well out there with the kids, but there's a photo of a student learning how to throw the rope to wrangle a baby calf. And then they had a horse on display as well. So they had a lot of great fun, and we want to continue those programs as well. Lastly, attendance does come out of our building, so they work out of the building. I just want to highlight the work that they do. They do amazing work to try to promote students to come to school. Some of the initiatives they've done this year has been ice cream social. They had snowy RVA treats to come out. They had breakfast, Bojangles breakfast, donuts from Donut Company, and just random attendance pop-up rewards for kids who are just daily present. So they just go to the classrooms, the students are there, they're handing out treats to the students just to say, hey, we're glad you're here, thank you for coming. So we talked about some of our community partnerships, so we can save those slides, we talked about those. Finally, we'll go through some quick numbers. CT program completed work-based learning data. We have 35 students engaged in work-based learning, 8 employee partners. This was in the fall. We had 34 students that participated in the fall. In the spring, we have 45 students engaged in work-based learning with 13 partners. We have the 4 students who completed the GED in the fall. We have 7 more that still enrolled, and our hope is that those 7 pass as well. We gave the IC3 digital literacy exam. We gave it to 22 kids, 13 passed at a 59% pass rate. We're looking to improve that. Out of those 13, we tested another 4 in the IC3 level 2. We had 3 of those to pass at a 75% clip. Out of those 3, we had another 2 to go to level 3. Wow. And 2 of those took it and 2 of those passed. So we were 100% on that. Workplace readiness is kind of the baseline generic test for competency. We had 50% of those students pass. WISE is given to all students throughout the division, throughout the high school and the career tech for literacy, for financial literacy, and econ and personal finance. And we had, again, 82 students pass at a 75% pass rate. Finally, our reflections, we want to continue to focus on student engagement and instructional rigor in all classes, continue heightened academic expectation with intentional emphasis on cultural awareness, relevancy, and sensitivity to ensure expectations and clear communications, appropriately encouraged and fully embraced by students. We want to continue to develop a school culture where all students feel welcome, valued, and appreciated for who they are as individuals. Our goal is to meet every student where they are and support them each day as they work towards achieving their personal and academic goals. Thank you. Do any questions, comments? Thank you all.
Thank you.
That was
Fantastic. This is calendar.
It's just calendar. So the calendar you'll see on there, if you don't mind, do you mind if I?
Yep, please.
So as you can see, we removed the budget presentation from tonight because you can see we've had a lot of information. It's been some good information about all the good work that goes in and supported by the budget. Monday will be the budget presentation where I'll work February 9th at 6 o'clock in here. And then we moved the public hearing because you have to have a public hearing on the budget to the next Monday, the 16th at 6 o'clock. And that would be the only thing on each one of those agendas. And then on the February 17th, I actually present a budget to the Board of Supervisors.
And that's at 3:30 in the afternoon?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the time they picked.
So Monday the 9th, we're
In here.
here.
6 o'clock.
And we're back here again on the 16th at 6 o'clock.
okay.
Is the supervisor room the courthouse?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's the same?
Yes, sir.
Reason,
That's not the public hearing this Monday, this Monday.
Now, I'm gonna present the budget, I was supposed to present it tonight, we removed that from the agenda, I'm gonna present next Monday, the 9th, and then the 16th, we have the hearing. Yes,
And if no one comes to public here, we don't stay long.
no, that meeting can be, yes.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
just
Yeah,
saying.
yes, ma'am,
And the 16th is the public hearing.
yes, ma'am.
And we might or might not have to meet again on the 23rd.
Just depending. Well, right, this all, yes. Alright,
Should we all try to be there on the 17th of April?
Yes, I was gonna ask you that. You won't support it.
17th of February.
Yes.
I would love that is something I would love as much support as I can get, but I understand schedules can get tight.
That's the board of supervisors.
Yes,
That's
3:30.
Wednesday.
3:30 on the
That's
17th.
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
3:30. Nobody has to come, but if you wanna come,
What time did you?
3:30 in the afternoon, it's a bad time, but.
They pick that.
I don't mind the time. I have to be out of town that day. I'd like to go, but I can't.
Well, we know you'll be there in spirit.
That's right.
Yeah, I will be there in spirit. I could be here on phone. I could be.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that helps, but anyway.
Is this the last time you were before the Board of Supervisors about the,
Unless we have cause he will present, he meaning Doug Stanley on the 10th of March.
okay, because last year we had some community members who came and spoke to the Board of Supervisors, and it was in the evening though.
That would probably at their meeting.
Okay, do
Yeah.
we, I mean, I know there will be lots of community members that would be willing to go
Yes.
and support that if we want that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Alright. Next thing, you've heard of, any questions on the calendar?
But yes,
Yes, sir.
well, it's not about this, but as we're moving forward for that, Tuesdays, board meetings in July. When are we gonna actually know, is it gonna be the first Tuesday? Is it always
Yeah,
gonna be
did
the
y'all get
first
the
Tuesday?
calendar? Did we send that out? We
We
did
did
send the
not
date.
send that out yet. We
Yeah, I
talked
thought we
about
did.
it at our agenda meeting, but we did not send it
I
out.
thought we did.
It has not come
Somebody-
out.
Oh, yeah, I would send that out. I thought I had done that.
I didn't see it.
No, it has not come
I
out.
thought it had. I'm sorry, that's my fault. It's available. I just, sorry. I didn't see it.
It's all first Tuesday of every month, but one time in
January.
January,
And the time has changed too.
5.
I thought we sent it. I
You
thought
have
Miss
not
Lee
sent
sent
it.
it. I thought
She
Jane Lee. Okay.
You know I check my email all the
I
time.
know you did.
I don't think I've seen it either.
Okay, I will, that is my fault, cause I thought, she and I had
She
a
did send it out for the rest, and from now until June,
Okay,
but we have not gotten July
Okay.
home.
in my mind,
Okay.
maybe I drink, anyway, I will do that.
But it's
Okay.
always gonna be the first except for that
In
one.
January,
yes.
that's right,
Okay, cause I've got to clear my schedule
yes.
now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So, anyway, I can tell you what I had on when we had that conversation, but anyway, we're good, we gotta move past that right now. The next one, just, information, I guess, my report. As you can see, there's been a lot taking place in Prince Edward County Public Schools, and, but one of the first things that I just, want to talk about, we've been in this winter weather event, and, just a lot, and a lot of temperatures. And, one of the things that I want to just say is just thank you to our maintenance team, to our transportation team, to our teachers, to our school nutrition, to the families, to the community, to you all. There was a lot of communication coming out. There were a lot of behind the scenes work that was done, and I just can't say thank you enough. And, it's weather. I enjoy most aspects of my job every day. Winter weather is not an aspect that I have ever enjoyed, because it's, at the end of the day, the safety of a lot of people rides on my shoulders. And I get lots of input, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that's got to lay my head at night knowing how this is impacting every family member of Prince Edward County Public Schools and staff. That's, I don't take that lightly. But I just can't say enough. And when I watched one day when we were getting ready for some stuff, we have some good equipment. However, our equipment wasn't anything for this packed ice. We actually had to rent a skid steer to come in and help brake and different things. So as we work through budget processes and needs and different things, one thing we need to do is upgrade our snow removal equipment. I'm working on if we could do that, because we've got to be ready. I hope we never need, it's kind of like four-wheel drive, you don't ever want to use it, but when you want it, you got it. So just looking at that, but we are looking at that, just a thank you. And Mr. Good worked along with people just as hard as anything, scraping the snow, and he puts on his hat, his glasses, his scarf, and he's sitting back on that thing, and you do what he says. But you know, and also on that, we had 5 students who just recently traveled to Shenandoah University, and 3 of them placed first chairs. We had Jude Stimson with the trumpet, Kazu Denmore with percussion, and Will Stanley with the tuba. And also, our band is getting a lot of recognition. The Board of Education, DOE, invited our band to perform at one of their meetings. Granted, it's only a small performance, no more than 2 selections, but it'll be before their April board meeting, so they will be playing. So it's an opportunity for our children to get exposure. And they have a busy time that night. They play with the Longwood Honors Band the night before. Then they get up and we travel to Richmond to the Board of Education, and then there's the theater performance that night. It's a lot, but they can do it. There you go. And but it's exciting because it gets recognition for our kids. And then you know, one of the things that we've done, and credit to Mr. Good, Ms. Clark Reed, Mr. Wilkerson, and everything, and I sent this out to you, is I had a part of being a part of this in Cumberland County. But in the spring of 27, next spring, Prince Edward County Public Schools will host the RAM Clinic, the Remote Area Medical Clinic. It will be here. And that is an opportunity for up to 450 people to get medical services at no charge, whether it's vision, whether it's medical, whether it's whatever. It is, I didn't know a lot, you know, I believe in serving the community. And I just know that medical can be a lot of expense for a lot of people. And I didn't really know what was entailed with it when Cumberland agreed. I was like, but I learned. And but I remember going to the event, and it just the impact that it has. One gentleman, I watched him, he went in this, they set it up as, you'll have to see it, I just can't really describe it. And he was diagnosed with a pretty life-threatening, and had to be taken to the hospital right away. Had he not come? Yeah. So that lets me know, it's kind of like the telehealth. If it's one person, and then to get people to have glasses, they can't afford it. That is huge. And with that also, just the different things that are going on. And you know, we're getting ready to enter to the budget season. And you know, one of the things, you know, I was supposed to present tonight, but I'm glad you all agreed that we could back off that, because I want it to be thorough, because I know one of the things that you're committed to, and like me, is salary, the recruitment and retention of staff. And you know, we worked with Evergreen Solutions, and we've been working through that. What does that look like, and what is the best recommendation for Prince Edward County Public Schools moving forward? Because we want to be the best, and in order for us to be the best, we have to have the best. And we have some good people, and how do we reward them in different things? But you know, just to give a little update, and I'll talk more about this on Monday, is, you know, currently in a lot of our pay ranges that we have for our staff members, Prince Edward County has like a 44-step pay range. It's a lot. And there's so many different salary scales out there. Our goal when we're working with Evergreen through Ms. Jones and Ms. Eanes Walton and the team, and working with Evergreen Solutions, is to have a salary scale that's a 25-step. You condense the 40, so you're going from 40-some into 25. And then to have it's more transparent, there's consistency, and people can see where they're moving. So steps may change. I might be on step 30 right now, but on this new scale, I may be on step 20. Because we've had to compact 44 into 25. You're not losing money. No employee would lose money. You'd just be on a different scale, so we'd have to work through that. And so we're working through that, and it just gets us more competitive at all of our jobs that we're trying to do. And it's kind of I've never been part of a salary study. It's very complex. And so I just appreciate all that's gone in for that. And one of the things in working in Ms. Jones and Ms. Eanes Walton, when we've been working with Evergreen Solutions, is I don't want an employee to take a reduction in pay. Right. I want this to benefit, and then how do we attract people in the future? So it would be a change, but we'll talk more about that on Monday. But it's been a lot of work that has gone into that. And then also with that, still leveraging, you know, I've been talking with Mr. Stanley at the county, is we have the retention of staff, but then we also have to operate our facilities. Nothing's getting cheaper, so we have to make sure. And then looking at upgrading some of our vehicles if we can. Can we do it this year? You know, some of the snow removal that I talked about, is there some investment in equipment that we need to do? Because every school division I knew of was trying to run a skid steer. It's just like it all dawned on all these superintendents and maintenance at one time. We got the last one from King Rental and Prospect. And, which by the way, we made the front page of the Farmville Herald on it, if y'all saw that. We're in the front fold. But just to be able if we hadn't had that, we wouldn't be open at school right now because those parking lots were that bad. And, and then looking at our capital, looking at our investment in vehicles and maintaining health insurance and just professional learning. Because one of the things that I hope you've seen through what Ms. Vance presented, Ms. Garrett, Ms. Clark-Reed, and Ms. McClure is people come because you invest in them. And then how do they grow? And once they get here, when we get them in the door, how can we help them grow? And just make the best of Prince Edward County Public Schools. And so we're doing that. We're putting a lot of investment into professional learning and coaching for our staff this year. It's probably a little more than usual, but it's a lot. It is. And just helping people grow and look at different data. So as you can see, there's lots taking place. We try to communicate as much as we can. I've really focused on communication, getting the weather event stuff, information out as quickly as I can. We started a trend, what Ms. Watkins did with that AI sled. Once we did that, every school division came like a race. But at the end of the day, we were first.
Yes, it
And so they can do whatever they want, but we were number one. And that's what matters. And but just making sure that communication's out there. At the end of February, through a partnership with Longwood, approximately 75 Longwood College students will be on this campus on Fridays for about 6 weeks, observing classes. That builds your pipeline for teachers. Our second graders will start swimming lessons, going to the Y in February, or swim water safety with parent permission. They'll go right across the street to the Y on a bus. That's a good, we brought that back.
What time is that?
That, they'll go during the school day. Yeah, and also we're in talks with the YMCA about bringing back after-school care, starting in the fall. They would use one of our facilities to do, so that is looking to do that and just really expanding our partnership. And Ms. Garrett, myself, Ms. Eads Walton, and Ms. McClure, we were actually invited by Longwood next week to travel with them to a meeting in Washington. And it's focused on strengthening school and university partnerships. They reached out to us, and we are going to that. They're taking a team, and we're taking a team, and we're going to work to strengthen that. And then we're also working, of course, with Hampton Sydney on the different the mentor program and different things. So it's there's a lot in the pipeline.
Very exciting.
So, all right, that's my update.
Thank you. Great things happening. All right, now we're on the board member comments. Any board members like to offer? Okay.
Just like to piggyback Dr. Jones, what he mentioned about, across our school community, to get back in school today and to know what we experienced the last week and a half with all the weather and everything. I think it's really a testament to the hard work a lot of people. So we're so thankful and blessed to have the people in place across our school division and the schools that are working for our kids.
And I was just here admiring my basket. Thank you for that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you for
Yes,
that.
Thank you.
Thank you for the goodies. Thank you, PTO, for the cookies. Thank you all for your support and, of course, the work you all do that makes what we do possible. And we're all here for the same purpose, to serve the kids, so very, very grateful.
I'm very appreciative of the presentations.
Yes.
Yes, tonight.
Tonight, because there's a lot of work that goes into those. It's very needful for us as a board team to know. It gives us just more insight of what's truly going on at the schools, and as far as for the improvements of our kids and staff members. It's working hard, so very thankful.
How can we schedule a tour of that salon?
Just call me, we'll make it. In March, I'm working with a construction company, and once I get a more date, I'll tell you, is that I wanna do a combined tour with you all and the board of supervisors at one time.
Oh, that'd be
Just to see, to come in and maybe we can get you all in anytime you want. Mr. Lee, you can contact me or work through Mr. Lee, he'll take you. That is impressive to see that.
I'd love to see it.
And, just, you know, cause I want, and then I want us, along with them at some time, to tour the rest of our facilities. Just to see, you know, when we're asking for things, or not asking, but what are our needs, these are our needs. You know, and just, I just think sometimes you put a visual to it, it helps. Cause I'm one of these people, you can hear anything in the world. You can hear, you know, I heard so many positive things about myself last night that, you know, just some of them gave me chills. And how much somebody in particular loved me. And but until you go in and see it for yourself, you know, you can hear, but then you go in.
It's really good. It's neat.
Yeah, it's good. So, but I want them to see it.
All right, moving into actions on the closed session. Yes.
I move that that student A be able to return to school at the end of the third 9 weeks contingent on academic progress and good attendance and attending, fulcrum counseling.
So I see some
Student A.
I see some concerned faces, don't second it if that's not the motion you wanna.
I thought we said the end of the month. But
We did say at the end of the month,
Yeah.
excuse me, I will, let me rephrase my motion. At the end of the month, at the end of February, okay, that's for student A,
yes.
okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, discussion. All those in favor? All right,
Student
unanimous.
B was the end of the 9 weeks, though, right?
I thought we said
February
both
too,
times.
same time, okay. I move that student B be able to return to school contingent on academic progress and good attendance.
I second.
Motion been made and seconded, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? All right, motion passes.
I move that we approve the personnel agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor? I know protocol, y'all protocol.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? All right.
And there's food in there for y'all, make sure you.